I'm Kim.
I'm Brad.
We're 6260 Ohana, California, and today we're going to talk about the pros and cons at Walt Disney World's Grand Floridian.
And there's a lot of them, so we'll get into them starting right now with our first pro.
So we're going to start with the DVC Rooms because that's where we've stayed, and they are huge. Okay, for a one bedroom, they're a really big room.
Yeah, we stayed in that one bedroom, and it was a beautiful room.
It was really nice as far as the living room had the pull-down Murphy bed for like the single underneath the TV. It had the couch bed plus the regular bed. So you could fit 5 people into one bedroom there.
And yeah, the kitchen was a really good size.
Okay, so one thing I really liked is kind of they had this separate wet bar area. So you had more storage, places for drinks and cups and things like that over there.
Yeah, we used it for our charging electronics, which worked out really well.
One of the things about the kitchen is I really like the table. They kind of had that like half booth to it. Mm-hmm. It was really nice booth.
Yeah, and of course, if you're there, you want to know what the bathroom's like.
Oh my goodness. This bathroom was pretty awesome at the DVC villas. They had like a regular bathroom area and the shower was huge. It was a massively big shower. And then they kind of had like a little half bath. They had the nice really soaked bathtub. They had a huge vanity, and in that vanity mirror was a TV.
Yeah.
Talk about being spoiled.
Yeah, I kind of call it gimmicky, but...
Oh, it's a complete gimmick. But let me tell you, when you're getting ready in the morning and you could have, Disney music playing in the background or something, news or whatever your jam is, it's kind of nice. You definitely have that bit of luxury there. And, sometimes I can imagine with parents trying to get your kids to take a bath, having that TV in the bathtub might be kind of a benefit.
Yeah, so we'll link our room tour down below. Let's go on to our second pro, which is...
the DVC Lobby. It is cool. It is kind of like, unlike other DVC resorts, because it's in its own separate building, they kind of have a whole lobby, reception, concierge, DVC rep, and that's kind of a cool thing to have.
Yeah, it really had its own separate feel to the whole thing. It had a really nice Mary Poppins feel.
I really like the little penguin fountain. That was awesome. It was cute. It definitely it just had a different level of walking into a lobby versus other DVC buildings where they don't have a lobby.
Yeah, so as you know, this is a DVC resort as well as a regular resort. Our experience is only with the DVC portion for the room. So if you've stayed at the Grand Floridian in another room, let us know down below what you thought of those rooms. So let's go ahead and go to our third pro,
which is the boats to the Poly and also to Magic Kingdom. I like the boats. It's definitely a different feeling. I like being on Seven Seas Lagoon. It just makes me feel relaxed and happy. And
that's just a nice way to start the day or even end the day.
It is. So that's kind of a nice option. But you also have a monorail to Magic Kingdom or to the resort loops, which is the Poly, and also over to the Contemporary and the Ticket and Transportation Center. So you have a lot of transportation options, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have those options there, as we'll get into here in a little bit of reason why. Okay, and another way is if all those transportation options are jammed up at the end of the night, when Magic Kingdom empties and
after
everything.
Fireworks.
Yeah, and there's lines everywhere. There's another option that just opened last year, which is a great option to have now.
And that's a walkway path between the Grand Floridian and Magic Kingdom. I liked it because there was nobody there when we went and it wasn't too hot, so it was just kind of a nice relaxing way to end the evening. And especially if we would have had to wait like a half hour, 45 minutes for any of the other transportation option, that was awesome.
Yeah, truthfully, the way we came about going that way is we actually asked one of the security guards that was there and go, what way is the fastest way to get back? And he goes, truthfully, at this time, taking the walking path is your best bet, and it really was.
It didn't seem that bad. I was worried after being in the parks all day, my feet might get a little sore, but that wasn't the case.
No, it was a nice relaxing stroll all the way over to the Grand Floridian. Okay, so let's go to our next pro, which is...
Okay, so we're going to talk about the restaurants. There's so many amazing dining options at the Grand Floridian that a lot of times, truthfully, if we're not staying at the Grand Floridian, we're hopping over there for a dining reservation.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better resorts for all these great dining that you have. So let's start with our first dining, which is Citricos.
So that just reopened as a re-theme last summer, and we were fortunate enough to eat there. I'll put the dining review down below and link it. I loved it. It definitely had a Mary Poppins theme there too.
Boy,
I just thought it was such a unique atmosphere.
Yeah, they really didn't hide that Mary Poppins theme. It's everywhere. It was great. The great thing about it is there's fireworks.
There is. Some tables have some views. We were lucky enough to get one, so you can watch that review. Also, I like that the menu is very unique.
Yes. So let's go to our next dining option. This is one of our other favorites, which is Narcosis.
Okay, so Narcosis is where we like to usually go for like our anniversary special dining. We love it. Once again, I'll link that review down below. I just love that there's these upscale, nice dining options, and it doesn't end there.
Yeah, and so with Narcosis, Citricos, and there is the granddaddy of them all that's not open right now, but hopefully it'll be back soon, which is Victorian Alberts.
We have not eaten there, but it is on a bucket list for us. Maybe like some big grand anniversary at some point we'll get to do that. But they have a whole chef's table. It's like a whole big thing. This is the kind of place where gowns and tuxes are expected.
Yeah, so if you're thinking you're going to get away with a collared shirt and nice pants, no.
This is like dressed to the nines. I've heard the food is absolutely amazing. We have not dined there. But if you have a special occasion, this is a 5-diamond AAA award-winning restaurant, of course, with several other dining awards. So hopefully they do reopen it.
Yeah, and talking about other restaurants that are closed, you may want to take some for your kids to go to, which is a good time, which is 1900 Park Fair.
That is a fun restaurant. It's also character dining, or has been in the past. We'll see if they bring that back with everything that's been going on. But honestly, when my brother and his family are coming with us, I said, let's go try this. We've never tried it. I'll link that dining review down below as well. But everybody walked away blown away. So that was a positive, nice family dinner.
Yeah, at the time it was actually our favorite buffet that you could go to that we've ever been to for food quality wise, everything. It was awesome. Hopefully it comes back soon. So let's go to our next option for dining, which is the Grand Floridian Cafe.
Okay, we have not eaten there, but I've heard rave reviews. It's more of it's still a table service, but it's more of a casual, like you definitely wouldn't feel out of place if you're in your jeans and t-shirts, tank tops, flip-flops type of thing.
Yeah, it was just a nice casual, but it still looked really nice inside. So it's one place that it's...
If you don't feel like dressing up.
Yes. Okay, so other than the Grand Floridian Cafe, there's also Gasparilla's Grill if you're really in a hurry and really don't want to dress up at all.
It's the quick service, so that's kind of nice. We usually get the rapid refill mugs just because it's nice to get those at the end of the night, take it back to the room.
Yep.
Oh.
We get these every trip.
And then I drink my coffee in the morning on the way to work using these.
Dual purpose.
But anyways, it's kind of nice after the parks to be able to go get the rapid refills, not worry about the cost. You know, if we're staying there for 2 weeks, it more than pays itself.
Yes.
A week or two, you know, you get sodas multiple times a day, or you've been hanging out at the pool and you want to go get a soda. That's kind of a nice thing to have.
So, talking after dinner, what do a lot of people like to do after dinners?
Sometimes we like an adult beverage of choice.
That's where Enchanted Bros comes into.
Okay, we did go there. They weren't doing their specialty drinks. They have some specialty drinks that they make tableside, and they have smoke and a whole presentation. They weren't doing it when we were there,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, because we were still in the restrictions due to the
pandemic.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like the feel. It was really well themed.
Yeah, and it was actually a really relaxing place to sit down, have a drink, and have a nice conversation.
Yeah, we didn't have the best experience overall there, I don't think. But I think that was more of the cast members and environment that we were in. But yeah, the theming was nice. The drinks were good. So I kind of, on the lounges at Walt Disney World, this one kind of was a miss for me.
Mm-hmm. Overall, it's a nice place that's quiet to have a drink and maybe have some adult conversation.
I would give it a second chance for sure.
Okay. So other than adult drinks, there's also
tea. So they have the Garden View tea room, and they have like afternoon teas. That's kind of a nice, upscale thing to do. I think if like I had a daughter, I'd take her, or like I'd want to go with my mom or something like that. I think we haven't done that. I don't know if Brad would drink tea with me.
I like tea. I just don't think that's my
Cup of tea?
perfect. All right, let's go from tea to one of the main things that a lot of people love about resorts are the pools.
Okay, so the beach pool has a 181-foot water slide, and around the pool has bungalows, but you have to make like advanced reservations, and it costs a lot.
And we actually asked about them, and they do say they do go quickly, so you got to make sure you make those reservations early.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to do that, but if you were doing a pool day, staycation, and pool space was at a premium, that might be a good option.
And that pool looked really fun.
It's a nice pool. It's big.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it would be still entertaining because it's not the most overly themed pool for a resort, but hey, it's there.
Yeah.
Also for kids, there's actually a really cool area there for kids for kind of a splash area, would you put it?
So it's an Alice in Wonderland themed like water play area, splash area. I think that is kind of a really cool place for kids. Like, I think it's got a whole Mad Hatter tea party theme with the water, and that is one of the best little water park play areas I've seen.
Yep. So let's go from the pools and go into the lobby and talk about some of the things that are going on in the lobby, which is there's a piano sitting there playing Disney music.
That is really relaxing to listen to the pianist play and to look around the lobby and just kind of take a deep breath and relax. I think it gets even better when the lobby's decorated for the holidays, such as Christmas. They have a huge tree. They have a massive gingerbread house. We have not been there for Christmas, but that's a bucket list.
Yeah, we've seen photos of it. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
And then, of course, they sell like little gingerbread shingles and stuff like that. Like if they would have been on like the gingerbread house, which they weren't, but you know, I'd imagine if you're smelling gingerbread everywhere, that would all of a sudden kind of be like, oh, I want some gingerbread now and some hot chocolate. And so they have the nice, beautiful decorations at Christmas, but at Easter, they have a massive chocolate Easter egg that's decorated, which is supposed to be phenomenal. I know.
Chocolate?
Tempting.
So let's go to more things to do in the general lobby area of the Grand Floridian. One would be, well, there's shopping there.
There are tons of stores. They've got like little sundries, dress shop, and your typical like snacks and resort themed items for sale, your H2O products, things like that. But if you go upstairs, you find my favorite shop, and that's Basin.
Yeah, you really like those bath bombs.
I do. Not sponsored, but I love bath bombs. I literally leave room in my suitcase to take home huge things of Basin bath bombs.
And there's also the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
That would be so much fun, like to dress up if, you know, daughter, princess kind of thing for the day, or whoever wants to get a little makeover to enjoy magic. That would definitely be a fun place.
Of course, with the boutique, you know, mommy needs some time, right?
Or dads might need a massage.
Okay. So there's the Senses Spa.
Okay, I would love to do that, especially like midweek when my feet start hurting after being in the parks all day. But it's supposed to be a very luxurious spa. So maybe someday I'll have to maybe check out something. I don't know. I would think the prices would be very Disney expensive.
Disney expensive on top of Grand Floridian, probably expensive.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's go to the Seven Seas Lagoon and things to do outside.
Every night there's the electrical water pageant, which has been a tradition since Walt Disney World opened in 1971. So it's so Disney and unique and cool, and you just see it and it just feels Disney. So I love it.
Okay, and there's more things to do, which is also there's the specialty cruise.
So that's like your firework cruises. So that would be fun. I always kind of want to do one of those.
Yeah, those look like a lot of fun. We see the boats out there and we're like, that'd be a really cool place to watch the fireworks from the Seven Seas Lagoons.
Or even better, like a dessert fireworks cruise.
But if you don't want somebody driving your own boat, you actually can rent a boat too.
Yeah, so during the day they have the motorized boat rentals. That would be, I've seen like those little racers. I think right now they're just doing the pontoon boats, but those little racers look like fun.
We might get in a little too much trouble with that.
That's true.
Of course, you always can slow down those boats and go fishing.
Yeah, so of course the catch and release, it's excursion, extra cost. I'm not much of a fisherwoman, so I don't know if that would be my idea of fun, but I would definitely love to be out on Seven Seas Lagoon, Bay Lake area.
Yeah, we've actually heard of people who would love going out there and go fishing for the catch and release just because it's a relaxing time.
So also from the Grand Floridian, at Magic Kingdom, you can watch a fireworks show. Like right now, there's Enchantment that's there. We haven't seen it, but we have watched the fireworks from Magic Kingdom at the Grand Floridian, and it's nice because it's not so crowded. You don't have to worry about getting back to your resort at the end of the night and being crowded.
And they do pipe in the music, so you have the music going to the fireworks.
So that's a bonus.
Yep.
So if you had a staycation, didn't have Magic Kingdom on your list of parks to go to, you still could see the fireworks show.
Talking about fireworks, let's go to weddings.
So the Walt Disney World Wedding Pavilion is at the Grand Floridian, and it's kind of cool because I've seen pictures where the glass kind of outlines and you get married in front of the view of the castle, which, wow.
Yeah, it looks like a really neat place to get married.
If I only would have known back then and maybe won a lotto.
Yeah, it looks like it's very expensive. So yeah, they have receptions right across from Gaspara's Grill for your wedding, and it's actually a really beautiful location.
It's right on the water. You could see the fireworks from Magic Kingdom. I would think if you had a wedding reception, that'd be a pretty magical place.
Yeah, you can see the tables are all set up. They're kind of glowing and really cool. And they took pictures during fireworks, so you had the fireworks in the background.
Maybe someday, vow renewal goals.
So with all these pros, you think, is there any cons there? Well, yes,
there's a few.
So our first con is the most obvious one. Grand Floridian is very expensive.
It is expensive, whether you're paying cash or DVC points. It is some of the most expensive rooms on property. It is Disney's flagship resort. You've seen it featured in TV shows like Full House. It's kind of that thing when you think of fairy tales and Cinderella and castles and all that and Disney magic, you do think of Disney's Grand Floridian, but with that comes a price.
Yep. And also, there's another con, and it's one of those things that is hard to explain. The feel of the resort feels extremely formal.
Okay, I felt bad at times walking through the lobby in shorts and a tank top, t-shirt. I felt underdressed, and you're at Walt Disney World. That's the kind of theme park where you wear. But when you're walking by people that are dressed to the nines, polos and khakis and nice dresses and suits or ties or whatnot, and you're walking by like Narcosis, Citricos, people that are in the lobby getting to these restaurants, sometimes you feel a little underdressed.
And to put a point on that is this is one of the only resorts I've ever seen. When you go out front, you have that nice old Cadillac, you have the carriage, but also parked right out front, you'll see McLarens, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Of course, if you're a car lover like I am, it's a cool place to go see them.
He might have been drooling a bit.
Just a
I
little
told him, maybe someday if you won the lottery.
Yeah, I don't even know then.
I know, right? Anyways, so there is definitely, when you think of Mary Poppins, when you think of, it's going after like a Victorian theme there, a magical, you just have more of an upscale. I feel like it's a really fancy country club type vibe to it.
And talking about all the expensive stuff, and here's a big con is, if you're waiting for that bus, you're on the last bus stop.
So you share a bus with the Polynesian Resort and Villas. That's kind of a drawback because that means over at the Poly, they get the first seats, places to stand. If the bus is filled up, then they're going to go straight to the theme park. They're not even going to stop by at the Grand Floridian. Considering you pay a lot more to stay at the Grand Floridian in points or cash, it kind of seems like you would have your own bus or you'd be the first in line for bus. Not that you'd have to wait a long time, but that leads to some long lines in buses.
And yeah, with our experience, it's one of the longest bus lines that we've ever seen at a resort.
So like for one of the biggest problems we saw also was people that were in EVCs, people that had handicaps. They might have already had the buses full from the Poly because they can only take 2 or 3 per bus. And if those were filled up at the Poly, then that means they're gonna have to wait twice as long. at the Grand Floridian.
Now, to be fair, they have added buses that go in when they're really backed up, but we still had to wait a couple of buses sometimes to get onto a bus. Okay, so let's go from long bus rides and to long walks to get anywhere in that resort.
Sometimes, like we were staying at the DVC building, anywhere in the resort, it was a little bit of a hike for us. It depends probably which building you're staying in. If you're more centralized, it wouldn't be as hard. But if you're over out by like the boats trying to come over to the lodge area or to the beach pool, things like that, is a little bit longer of a walk.
Yeah.
And it's even worse when you're trying to get to Gasparilla's Island Grill and you're trying to do the rapid refill mugs. It was kind of a haul.
Yeah. And especially if you're going from pool, the one pool that's with all the kids stuff is all the way over on one side of the resort, and you could have your room on the other side of the resort. So you have a long haul. And then there's another pool that's in the center that's more of a plain pool, would you put it?
It's like an everyday pool. There's no fancy theming. There's nothing really special to it. And that's kind of one of the things that we said is kind of a drawback to the Grand Floridian, is the main pools aren't overly themed like some of the other pools are. Like at Stormalong Bay at Beach Club, Yacht Club has a really nice with that lazy river. It's cheaper to stay over at Beach Club, but it would be nice to have that over at Grand Floridian, or some kind of unique, fun theme that would make the pools a little bit better of a draw. So I think the pools aren't as, like, I even think like the Poly has the lava pool, which is really cool with that big slide, and it's fun, and it's got a huge hot tub over there. You don't have that feeling over at the Grand Floridian.
And another con is if you're a DVC members, it's actually kind of hard to get reservations there. For right now, because they are introducing some new rooms, we'll see how those go.
Okay, so this summer 2022, DVC is opening up in the old Big Key Pine building. Okay, so they're opening up a whole building worth of just studios, so that is a drawback, it's studios, but it will allow more DVC members to stay there, because in the past it's been really hard for DVC in their 100 rooms to get a place to stay. So this will kind of like almost triple their amount of DVC rooms, but they're all studios.
Yeah, and so it's kind of a cautionary right now that will be available, but we'll see how available they'll be. So those are our pros and cons. I know there's a lot of pros.
There's a few cons, of course. I feel like some of these cons are big.
Yeah, and we know for a lot of people this could be one of your bucket list resorts, because it was one of ours.
It was. So I feel like this is more of a resort that you would go to stay, like a honeymoon, a anniversary, a big birthday.
Oh, you're saying quinceañera?
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that more. I feel like this isn't such a big resort that younger kids would want to stay at. They do have that Alice in Wonderland themed water play area. But other than that, and they have like the movies on the lawn, things for kids to do. Like the Poly is a little bit more kid friendly. I feel like Copper Creek Wilderness Lodge has a bigger. They have Artist Point.
It feels more relaxed at those resorts. It's like we said, it felt really formal. So if you like this video, please
like,
subscribe,
and follow along with our Ohana.
So with that, I think it's time for us to say goodbye and
find your magic. Bye everyone.